Hey guys, welcome back. Part number 6 and a final part of my Sukhoi SU-25 build in 48 scale. So, just going to wrap it up. So, last few touches, get all the ordnance on, all the lumps and bumps, and then do the final reveal. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, here she is, back on its gear again. Not most sturdiest. Now, if you happen to find some metal gear, I highly recommend it. But I don't think they're going to make metal gear for this. It's quite a complex operation going on here, and I'm not sure they sold too well either, these kits, with what's going on in the world. But anyway, back on its gear, and we're ready to kind of get this thing finished off and cross the line. Now, first thing I'm going to do is speed brakes. There's several different versions in the kit, and I obviously want to go to 3D printed ones. I'm not sure again if it's totally accurate, this one to the version, but they just look better and they're 3D printed. It's more detailed. So basically, it's just remove them from the tree, minimal cleanup, and just paint them and glue them on. So the outside's going to be the fuselage colored light gold gray. Curiously, yet no color callouts in the Eduard instructions. Zvezda instructions calls for desert, yeah, dark yellow. Sorry, XF60 for the inside. That seems like a weird color, but I'm going with it anyway. So that's the inside, and the outside again will be the fuselage color. I'll weather them up and all that kind of jazz before I glue them on, obviously, and they just slot right in theory. So I'll start with that. I'm going to have the light pieces to the bottom. Yeah, I don't want to move this too much, but remember we painted silver last time, and they just need the lenses to go on. And oh, there's a gear, by the way. And we'll kind of start from there, and then we'll piece on all the ordnance, all the pylons. We've got some bunch of antennas and lumps and bumps to go on, and then we can call this thing finished. Okay, so got the speed brakes on and painted both light color. I realized, oh, duh, obviously, yep, the bottom ones are the darker color, different shade. So remember, the top was the Attacker 48, and the bottom was the 334, the signal gray. So just super glue those in. In hindsight, maybe I should add all the missiles and ordnance first, but yeah, just I don't think it makes a difference which side they go. They're basically 4 pieces exactly the same. Added the front of the intakes, and it's a little fragile here. But the thing to note is it's interesting to see the color because this is the same color as here. It's just because we haven't weathered it as much. It looks so much darker. But I don't mind the actual lighter color, to be honest with you. Gear on, the doors. See, super glued in. Everything from here on in has been super glued. Got the lenses in on the end there on the wings. And pretty much now ready just to add all the ordnance. So I don't like touching this very much. This gear is so weak. It's going to, there we go, like so. On this foam, and remember, way back from part number 2, we have all this stuff. So all this stuff and the tanks, all this stuff needs to go on the bottom. Once that's done, we have just a few like lumps and bumps to go on. So at this stage, I think we're almost, I don't want to kind of spoil the final reveal, so I'm going to go ahead and add all the final touches. Oh, also painted the chocks as well. All the final touches I'm going to do right now, and then we'll come back in 2 seconds for a final reveal. And remember, at the very end, as always, I'll put some still photographs from outside. So yeah, very close now. Hopefully get all this on without too much damage or breakage. Get all the little pitot tubes on, and then we're good to go. Finished, and there she is, right there. So spoiler alert, having to refilm this after editing because my microphone's playing up. Once again, it didn't capture all the recording. So yeah, so finished yesterday. It's up there in the case. I won't move it around because it's pretty fragile. But I'll put, as always, I'll put some still images at the end of the video and put a little video of it outside so you can see better in the natural light. And yeah, what to talk about this kit. So it went together really well, as you know. It's Tamiya fit almost. It's a beautiful kit. Having finished it now, the gear was a problem, but I know it's a Zvezda issue. I think that's more just the design of the aircraft. Just the way it's built. The gear has to be built early on. So if built early on, it's obviously going to be snap off. So it's just be prepared for the gear to snap off, and then just wait to the very end so you glue it back on again. I made a mistake of trying to reapply it, and it just snapped off again, and it just got weaker and weaker. But nevertheless, it still stands okay on the shelf there. A lot of nose weight, about 2 ounces went in there, which I guess the way it's shaped and all the amount of missiles and all ordnance on there, it's pretty tail heavy. But yeah, other than the gear, yeah, no real issues at all. Went together really well using the Eduard boxing, which was a good one to use because you get that photo etched wheels. Sorry, you get the resin wheels, you get the resin speed brakes, you get the photo etched instrument panel, and the mask set. And I got it all for an amazing price. So Sprue Brothers can be the deal of the day. I check every single day. A lot of time it's just crap, like trying to get offload stuff nobody buys. But maybe once every 6 months they do have a good deal. And like this one here was like 35, $40, which is a steal. Had I known it was as good the kit, I would have bought more. Now the service detail is really good on this one. It does have rivets and stuff. Now the wash is on. It does look a little heavy side compared to some other kits, but nonetheless, at least it's there, and it does look pretty awesome. What else? Trying to think, not too much to do with this one. I mean, it's going to sound, I'm kind of conflicted here. I'm glad it's finished, but I enjoyed it at the same time. That makes sense. Early on, the build was really fun to build it, and then once you got the issue with the attacker paints reacting with the vinyl mask, and then having to deal with like goop off with goo gone, and then the gear kept breaking. I kind of lost my mojo a little bit on it. Just want to get it done, to be honest with you. I'm also a perfectionist, and I like everything I do. I like to do, to the best of my abilities. And a couple of issues with that one. I made not only the gear, but I lost that decal at the side, and a few other little things here and there. So you get to a certain stage in the build where it's not going to be perfect, and you just want to get it finished. Pretty much is where I was with that one. But yeah, I highly recommend it if you pick one up, Zvezda boxing or the Eduard one. If the Eduard one's within $20 of the Zvezda one, I'll get the Eduard one because you've got the mask set for the canopy, plus all the other stuff as I mentioned. Decals, I'm not going to use any of those interesting check decals. If you want them, shoot me a message. I've got them in a drawer, Risma decals. So yeah, I went with the digi camo, which I'm glad I did. Really like the scheme. And I got quite a nice collection of digi camo stuff going on here. I moved stuff around a little bit. So I got my Slovakian MiG-29. I got the SU-25. I got some other camo stuff going on down here. So I do like my interesting schemes. It just make things a little bit more interesting to do. But what else? I'm trying to think now. It's not really too much to talk about in this kit. It just went together. There's nothing really crazy about it. Again, it's just we talked about the points throughout this build, and that's really it. I mean, Zvezda is doing some great stuff right now. I mean, politics aside, just look at the product of the model kit. From that Pine was a disappointment because there's no service detail. Then you got this one, which is really nice. Had it not been for the gear, I'd maybe consider it maybe kit of the year. May still be the Alligator, the KA-52 helicopter. Recently got that detail is even a step up from that one. It looks really good on the plastic. That detail looks, on par with the looking around here, somewhere around here, armor models Hurricane 48 scale. Similar kind of detail there. But yeah, going back to Sukhoi, great build. Again, recommend it. I'm struggling for words right now because there's not really too much to talk about. To be honest, it's done. And there we go, on to the next project. So thank you for watching as always. I appreciate your support, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.